foreign exchange rate, flexible exchange rate, fixed exchange rate. We have discussed all that. And then the last clipping, we have also discussed the concept of currency depreciation and currency appreciation. So, currency depreciation and currency appreciation, we have discussed it through diagrams. Due to demand and supply change, how the currency appreciation and depreciation concept can be explained. Yeah. So, what is the significance of the currency appreciation and depreciation? Yes, we will see that just now. Under the flexible exchange rate system, yes, the currency value going down, is what is a currency depreciation, isn't it? That's what you have understood. So, when can that happen? The currency depreciation normally happens when the rate is going to go high or when the price is going to go high. When the rate or the price to procure the foreign currency is going to go high, that is when the value of the currency goes down, or that is the concept of the domestic currency depreciation. So, where does this happen? This term, it is related to the flexible exchange rate system, because you have understood it is due to the demand change and due to the supply change that there is going to be a currency depreciation happening out there. Yes? So, currency depreciation as such is a terminology that is related to the flexible exchange rate system. Yes? So, how about the fixed exchange rate system then? Under the fixed exchange rate system, where the government is going to fix up the exchange rates, when the government is going to peg the exchange rates or fix it up with reference to gold or some popular foreign currency, the government is fixing it up, right? The government is fixing it up. Yeah. So, when the government is going to refix it, adjust it, fine? When the government is going to refix it or adjust the pegging, then when they are going to reduce the value of the currency, let me repeat, when the government is going to reduce the value of the domestic currency, then such a concept is called as devaluation. Fine? The concept is called as devaluation in a fixed exchange rate system, where the government is going to bring down the value of the currency by fixing it in such a way. Alright. So, when the government fixes up a lower value for the domestic currency, the concept is devaluation. And in the flexible exchange rate system, while the demand and the supply forces are going to reduce the value through a rate increase, then that concept is called as a currency depreciation. Alright. In both the cases, you need to understand that there is a fall in the value. But if it is going to be the demand and the supply forces which is going to reduce the value, then it is called as depreciation. If the government is going to reduce the value in a fixed exchange rate system, then that is called as devaluation. That's all. Fine. So, depreciation, currency depreciation, right? In India, we can say the concept it started gaining prominence after the 1991 new economic policy. Why? Because it is after the 1991 new economic policy that the government interference in the foreign exchange market reduced. Fine? So, initially there was a partial convertibility and then the full convertibility of the rupee. This concept you would have definitely understood in your Indian Economic Development Chapter 3. Alright? So, rupee became fully convertible in the open market. So, it is only with the demand and the supply forces that the currency value is determined in the market. Alright. So, flexible exchange rate system came into existence in India after the 1991 policy. Until then, as part of protectionism, the government had the pegging system on, and the government determined the value of the foreign currency. Yes, or the rate that was followed was the fixed exchange rate system, in the country. So that is why, as part of the new economic reforms or the new economic policy of 1991, yes, within a week, 2 times, fine, within a week, just 2 times, the currency was devalued in India in the month of July, fine, and that brought in so much of foreign exchange. The country's foreign exchange reserve was as low as $1 billion, right? Within a week, it went up to $20 billion and then no looking back from there. As I mentioned earlier, we have become one of the fastest growers of foreign currency. Yes, so then, back then, the system that was followed was the fixed exchange rate system. So, the government had devalued the currency, and due to that, the foreign currency reserve started increasing. Fine? How so? How so? Let us just see the effect of depreciation and the effect of devaluation. Alright? Fine? So, the first one would be increase in the exports. Fine? Increase in the exports. Look at this. Increase in rate. Increase in rate. Fine? And that would mean a decrease in the value. That is how depreciation is understood. That is how devaluation is also understood. Fall in the value of the domestic currency under the fixed exchange rate system is called as devaluation. Right? Fall in the value of the domestic currency under the flexible exchange rate system, that is called as depreciation, currency depreciation, isn't it? Yeah. So, when there is a depreciation or when there is a devaluation, that is an export promotion tool. That is an export promotion tool. Fine? Yeah. When the rate increases, you have understood. What did you understand? Well, can you see that once more? Can you see that once more? Yes. There is a simple example. Yeah. $1 is equal to 50 rupees, and I'm sticking on the same numbers. Fine. And then $1 is going to become now 60 rupees. So in terms of rate, the rate is going up. Alright? In terms of rate, the rate is going up. And in terms of value, the value goes down. Isn't it? So we are talking in terms of export here. I just told you that it's an export promotion tool. Yes? How is it an export promotion tool? For the other country, namely the US, fine, by paying up $1, they were able to buy 50 earlier. Now, the same $1 will fetch them 60 rupees worth of products. Won't it? So, there is a better scope for India to export. So, this is going to be 50 rupees and this is going to be 60 rupees. Yes? What's going to happen here? For India, it would be possible to increase the export. Yes? Fine? So, it is very much an export promotion tool. Devaluation is very much an export promotion tool that the government has. Right? And in case the market is going to result in a very high rate and the currency is going to depreciate due to that, that would cause a huge amount of increase in the exports. Fine? So, export will go up. That is one good effect due to devaluation, good effect due to depreciation, currency depreciation. Fine? At the same time, what would happen to the imports? Imports will fall. Won't it? Yeah. Let's take up the same example once more. Yes? Imports, then we will have to take up India and probably check out with respect to India. Yes? Look at the initial rate. Initial rate, 50 rupees to buy $1 worth of products. Alright? And now for the country, if it wishes to import, yes, it has to pay 60 rupees to buy the same $1 worth of products. It has become costly. Import becomes costly due to this, isn't it? Yes? So, currency depreciation or currency devaluation, the domestic currency depreciation, domestic currency devaluation would mean would mean that the imports become very costly. So, nation will think about it. There is very much a chance that the import will fall due to that. So, whenever a nation wants to promote the exports, whenever a nation wants to reduce the import so that it could preserve the foreign capital, it would resort to devaluation as part of the fixed exchange rate system. In case the government can do it, yeah, they will do it. They will resort to devaluing the currency so that exports will automatically shoot up and imports will be controlled. Alright? So, due to this, what do you think will be the third effect? The third effect will be an increase in the national income. How come? How come? You have understood that while calculating national income, we very well take into account the net exports. Right? Net exports is nothing but the difference between X and the M. Alright? So, what did we say? The first point, it said that it's an export promotion tool. Devaluation is an export promotion tool. So, yeah, the export is going to increase. Yes, and the second point, look at that, import is going to fall. Right? So, import, yes, over here, increase in the exports, fall in the imports. What will happen to the net exports? Obviously, the net exports is going to increase. Fine? So, whether it is through your value added method or through your expenditure method of national income calculation, you know that net exports is very much part of the domestic income and national income calculation. Alright? So, what do we understand through this? Currency devaluation, domestic currency devaluation, domestic currency depreciation. It is going to result in export promotion, import reduction, and that would increase the net export component. And so, yeah, directly the national income is going to increase. So, whenever the nation wants development, whenever the nation wants growth, developing nations, they always have this as a major tool. Alright? So, it's not just a question of increasing the foreign exchange reserve. Yeah, foreign exchange reserve is one of the major assets, you know that. Yeah, even RBI is supposed to have the three reserves. What are the reserves? Yeah, again you know that. It is a gold reserve, number one. And then it is going to be the domestic currency reserve and the foreign currency reserve. Yeah. So, due to increase in the inflow of foreign currency, there is going to be a higher reserve with RBI, that is going to be asset formation for the country, more income flowing in, all good. Yes? So, these are the three effects of currency depreciation or currency devaluation. Alright? Now, is it only going to be increase in the rate all the time? No, you know that, isn't it? There is a possibility of the currency appreciation also. So, currency appreciation. Yes, what is that? Currency appreciation is very much again a concept that is related to the flexible exchange rate system. Yes? Yeah? So, what do you think is currency appreciation? Currency appreciation will be a depiction of a strong currency, increase in value of the domestic currency. Fine? So, increase in value of the currency. Yes? And what about the rate? You know, the two are inversely related, isn't it? So, it could happen due to a low rate or a low price. Yeah? So, when the foreign exchange market, in the foreign exchange market, when the rate is going to go down, that would mean the currency has become stronger in value. So, that is the concept of currency appreciation. Yes? So, currency appreciation is very much a concept that is explained as part of the flexible exchange rate system. Alright, fine. And then, what about the other system? The fixed exchange rate system? Can it happen there? Can it be such that the government is going to increase the value of the currency for some reason? Yes, very much a possibility. It's not that every time the government wants to only increase the exports and cut down on the imports and so on. Prolonged policy of that kind might not be fair for international trade or might not be good for international relationships. Fine. So to better international relationships, also to have a good image in the international scenario, the government might even try to increase the value of the domestic currency. So when the government is going to increase the value of the domestic currency, then what is that called? That is called as currency revaluation. Alright? Yes? So we have a devaluation here, which is reduction in the value of the domestic currency in a fixed exchange rate system. Alright? So when there is going to be a currency made stronger by the government, that would be revaluation. Alright? So currency revaluation is very much a term related to the fixed exchange rate system, wherein the government is going to make the currency stronger by pushing the rate down. The rate goes down, and the value goes up. Right? So that's a fixed exchange rate system, and the concept is revaluation. Right? So while the currency value goes up, what do you think will be the effect on exports and imports? It should be the opposite effect, right? Alright? Yeah? So the opposite effect will be such that the export is going to fall. Will it fall? Yes, the export will fall. Yes, what about imports? Imports will increase. I am simply changing the signs here. Alright, because it's the same factors. Yeah? The export is going to be cut down. The exports are going to be cut down, and then the import, it is going to increase. What will happen to the net exports then? Net exports will fall. Yeah? Export is falling, import is increasing. Yes? So here, let me again change these symbols, just these arrow marks. What is going to happen to the export? It is going to fall. What about the imports? That is going to go up. Alright? So the net exports over there, it is going to go down. What about the national income? Again, that is also going to go down. The national income might fall. So, it's not always good when the value goes up, isn't it? The value of the domestic currency, when it is going to go up, that is when there is going to be a currency appreciation, or when there is going to be a currency revaluation, as it is in these two exchange rate systems, then it might result in hampering the economic growth and development, because the national income goes down due to that. Fine? So that's the effect of currency appreciation and currency depreciation, and also that's the effect of currency devaluation and revaluation, as it is understood in these two systems. Hope you understood the currency appreciation, depreciation, and also the currency devaluation and revaluation, as it is explained in the fixed exchange rate and the flexible exchange rate systems. So with that, we would wind up this particular session. Namaste.